and welcome to the Lease Purchase and Owner Operator School. I'm Chris Bikerson. The school is, of course, hosted by myself through my company C&K Midwest. What we're going to talk about today is the purpose of this course. We're going to talk about the different types of owner operators that are out there. The course is intended to help those who are thinking about becoming an owner operator. It's a big step to go from being a company driver to taking on your own business. And I'd like to help give you the information that you need to use as kind of a guideline to make a more informed decision before you make any commitments. So, without any further ado here, let's get moving on and talk about the different types of owner operators that are out there. All right, it is a work day here, so we're going to zoom into the Kubota. Types of owner operators. First one we're going to talk about up here. Top of the food chain, the independent owner operator, independent trucker. The reason these guys are called independent is because they are just that. They have already obtained their own authorization, their own authority through the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. They have their own DOT numbers, their own MC number. They are their own motor carrier. They are not working for another company. They are their own trucking company. Those guys take on all expenses, all liabilities, pay their own insurance, etc., etc. And they run their own show outside of government regulations and meeting their customers' standards. These guys choose what brokers they're going to work with, what customers they will haul for, won't haul for, what kind of freight they're going to haul. They run the entire show, make their own decisions. They are truly independent. Now, the next one down from that is the owner-operator contractor. Now, these are guys who own their own truck, whether they financed it from a bank, whether they saved up their money, paid cash for it. Either way, these are guys that when they hand you the registration paperwork from that truck, it shows that they are the owner, not the company they drive for. Now, what these guys do, rather than being independent, which involves a few more responsibilities than being contracted to someone, and can be a good decision to make, quite frankly, they sign on to an existing motor carrier. They lease their truck on and basically sign a contract to run freight for them under their authority. And of course, in doing so, you give up a little bit of freedom from being independent, because you do have to do things according to the standards of the motor carrier that you're contracted to, and you are limited in how you operate somewhat. For example, how you're dispatched. You know, some companies may dispatch you, some companies may let you choose your own loads, your own brokers, etc. But like anything else, there are advantages and disadvantages to being an owner-operator contractor versus being an independent owner-operator. And then even when you go to the next one down there, the lease purchase operator, there's advantages and disadvantages to that as well. The lease purchase operator is pretty much the same thing as an owner-operator contractor, with the exception that rather than owning their truck outright, they typically are in a lease purchase agreement either with the carrier they're contracted to or with a company owned or closely affiliated with the carrier that they're leased onto. And there's a few restrictions that come with that. It changes some of the setups in how you're compensated as opposed to being an owner-operator contractor. But again, there's also some differences that give the lease purchase operator an advantage over the other types, as well as some disadvantages. Which brings us down to the bottom one there on our list, the lease operator. Now, the lease operator is essentially the same thing as the lease purchase operator, with the exception that the lease operator they're never actually going to own the truck. They are simply leasing their truck for a specified period of time, and when that time is up, usually what happens is they will take that truck, trade it back in, and get another truck. Most of the companies that do that, they do that with, basically you get a brand new truck that you lease initially, And I think most of the companies that do that usually have you hold on to that truck for about 2 years, and after 2 years you trade it off and get another brand new truck, which there's advantages and disadvantages to that as well. And we're going to talk about all the advantages and disadvantages of all those different types of owner-operators as we go a little bit further into this course. And so I want you to keep that in mind, and hopefully you'll stay tuned and follow up the rest of these courses with us. Be sure to tell your friends about us, anybody you know that's thinking about becoming an owner-operator. There's lots of good information in here that you definitely want to take into consideration before you sign any contract with any of these trucking companies out there. All right, and on that, I'm just going to give one little disclaimer. All right, disclaimer time. Now, before we continue on with this series, I just want to make this statement. Now, I'm not going to claim to be the foremost authority on everything trucking. I'm putting some information out there to be of help to people that are trying to make the decision. I know there's some super truckers out there. I know you guys are out there. I know you're getting $4 a mile both ways, and you're only hauling loads that are less than 5,000 pounds with your pre-emissions engine, and you're getting 15 miles to the gallon and it never breaks down, you know, with your 700 cat, okay? I know you're out there. I know you're probably gonna have all kinds of comments. You're gonna tell people I'm full of it, whatever. But hey, I'm here to give a help. If I can do that, then great. So if you don't like what I have to say, you disagree, all I'm going to ask is that, hey, you know what, be diplomatic and put your comments out there. All right, everybody have a good night. I'll see you at the next lesson.